Hey everyone, this is Let Me Know How It Is, a podcast about all things geek. Tonight, we're reacting to all the recent projects announced at Disney Investor Day. If you like what you hear, go back and check out some of our past episodes. Thanks for listening. Here's our show. Okay, so Disney just made a ton of announcements for stuff in 2021 and beyond. We're going to go give our reactions. I'm Zach Slater.
I'm Frank Melman.
This is Tommy Smithereens.
And I'm Clifton.
All right, so we were sitting down to do an entirely different topic today when Disney decided they were going to drop a boatload of cool stuff for us. So we decided to shift gears last minute, so here we are. We're going to go over what came out of Disney Investor Day. Interesting thing to say. It's not a convention or anything.
Right.
So I figured let's go ahead and start with the Star Wars slate. So Clifton, you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. I'll start us off. It was a very exciting business meeting for stockholders, apparently.
Do you think they geeked out like we did at the stockholders meeting? Do you think they're like, oh my God?
or they're just counting their imaginary money they're going to make.
They probably had to have an intern or somebody explain to them what's an Ahsoka. I don't get that.
Right.
Oh, all right.
They're all just picturing themselves as Scrooge McDuck diving into a money bin, I think.
Right.
There we
is
go.
probably what was happening. But
right.
yeah, like tons of Star Wars stuff. And my favorite one is probably the Lando series.
Yes.
Okay.
Featuring Donald Glover reprising the role from Solo.
Beautiful.
Yeah, very
excited about that one. They got nothing to show for it, of course. Not much to show for a lot of these things, but like he was great in Solo. I actually enjoyed Solo for the most part. And he was one of the highlights of it. So I'm definitely excited to see him back. He's great.
Yes. I love that he calls him Han in that movie. I love that right. He caught that and that he was thorough enough to, I'm like, oh yeah, Billy D does call him Han in those movies.
Yep. Yeah. And now it just seems like he's been messing with him this whole time.
Right. Yeah.
And it's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny when I remember when I heard about the fact, like he was on some show long before Solo came out, and he told the story about his mom basically pulling him aside and being like, "Look, you're going to be Billy D. Williams, and you're going to be my favorite character, so don't mess it up."
That was his mom.
He did it well.
Yeah, his mom told him. His mom
awesome.
said that to him.
That's a tremendous story.
Before he got the part, or once he got the part, that's what she told him.
Yeah, so this one I'm not entirely shocked to hear about. I mean, there were some rumblings about this in the rumor mill, I know.
Yeah, I'd heard a couple of rumors come out.
That's always take that stuff with a grain of salt, but sometimes some of that stuff is right. But I'm super excited about this because what I imagine this show to be is like all the stuff I'm into anyway, right? Like This has all the trappings for like a Star Wars heist show with the con man behind it, who's in the fashion.
Right.
Right.
He loves his capes.
Who's in the capes. Yeah.
And it's interesting. The showrunner is an interesting choice, which is one of the other tidbits of information we've gotten. It's Justin Simien, who was the writer, director of the movie turned Netflix series, Dear White People.
Okay.
And then
cool.
did the recently had a Hulu horror movie for Halloween called Bad Hair, I think it was. I did watch it. It was definitely a interesting movie. But that's who they've got show running this one. So it's an interesting choice.
Very cool.
Very cool. Very, very nice. Yeah. Can't wait. Lando's wonderful.
No, from the sound of it, looks like we're gonna get the black people part of Star Wars, if that's going to be the case.
Yeah.
just because of who they included in it and what they might invite as far as the potential of that kind of universe, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Especially to put him at the helm of it.
I'm kind of hopeful that we get both him and Billy D. Williams in it. Like it's kind of a either a reflection from older Lando to
that'd be cool.
Donald Glover. I think that'd be really cool if they do that.
Yeah,
so,
it's like Wonder Years.
Mm-hmm.
But Billy D. Williams is the narrator.
Right. Or How I Met Your Mother with Lando.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
We joke. I'm into it though. I love that idea. Like,
right. I seriously want Billy D. Williams to come back. It was nice to see him in in some of the later movies.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's always a possibility for like Han Solo guest appearance, Chewbacca guest appearance, stuff like that. I mean, like I'd be shocked if there's not some talk of that for an episode at least.
Yeah, bringing back the young guy.
I mean, it might also be we might get some of the stuff that was basically they set Solo up for a sequel, and then it's one of those things where I'm surprised we haven't got an announcement of that of some sort.
I feel like we're going to get pieces of what they had planned for that series in several of these other shows.
That's what I was thinking too, Clifton, was the fact that a lot of stuff that they couldn't do or wanted to do in that is going to pay off, especially in Lando. And beyond that, I don't know for sure, but Lando, I would expect to see it there.
Right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So what else is out there? Because you guys were all excited about this stuff when we were leading up to go, and then I sat down for the show, and I was like, "Wait, what? They announced what?"
Yeah, that's a bunch.
I mean, another one that's announced, we had known about it previously, and it's the Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
Sure.
But it now seems like it's going to be set in the same time as the Lando show. So I don't know if they're going to get like crossover between those two, but they both seem to be taking place at about the halfway point between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. So 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, about roughly 10 years before A New Hope. And so that's one where, I mean, we don't know much about it. We know Ewan McGregor's back as Obi-Wan. They've now announced Hayden Christensen returns as Darth Vader.
Right. Okay, that's
which
cool.
Will be interesting.
I feel they owe him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's an interesting thing. And then, I assume lots of it will be taking place with Obi-Wan on Tatooine, but we don't know what he was doing the whole time he was there.
I assume James Earl Jones
probably
will be involved as well.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, it's interesting you say that, Clifton, because when Marvel first took over Star Wars and acquired it, Jason Aaron was doing the comic for Marvel with John Cassidy. And there is an issue that he basically has like a one-shot issue within the series about Obi-Wan and what he's up to. And that's why I'm kind of wondering what they do. And basically in the issue, it's, he's kind of doing there's thugs that are basically, harassing townspeople, but he wants to be able to help at the same time. The minute he starts swinging a lightsaber, it's, like there's a Jedi on Tatooine,
right?
Which will, will probably get him killed. And then the other thing that Jason Aaron alludes to is the fact that he always knows about that Luke is exactly who Luke is the whole time. And he's watching over the family. So
he's watching over Luke from afar pretty much. Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll get some of that stuff too in it.
Oh, yeah.
But that's that also was displayed in Rebels. I don't know. Were you a fan of Rebels as well? Because they showed that towards the end of the series, in which Maul confronts. Maul comes to the planet Tatooine, and that's the whole basis of that one episode. And then you get the other side of Obi-Wan as far as him watching over Luke the whole entire time.
Right.
That's what I'm excited about too, because all of you Han Solo, Darth Vader people, Luke is my favorite. Luke has always been my favorite character, and so I think it's going to be neat if we're imagining correctly that we're going to see at least a young Luke somewhere in this show. But Tommy, like as you're saying Maul, and you're talking about the Rebels episode, it is hitting me, and suddenly like what Clifton and Frank were talking about, we're like, yeah, okay, there's Darth Maul stuff in Solo, and Solo kind of like leads into Lando, and this, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can already kind of see the things stitched together here.
Yeah, you can definitely see where the pieces are going to go from Solo into this stuff. So I'm very excited for that too.
Yeah, I'm actually, to look at it as a whole, I'm glad they're taking their strongest points of storytelling and expanded upon it. I think we're getting a lot of that with the new shows that they're announcing. Like whatever the fans gravitated to the most is what I'm seeing is what they're basing their whole world and what they're driving. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not done with Star Wars yet. There's still a lot, right?
Yes.
But I was surprised that Frank felt that Lando would be his favorite. I thought it'd be another one that'd be his favorite.
Which one?
Acolyte? The Acolyte?
Yeah, I'd heard that. I guess maybe if there'd been a little more information about it, it sounds pretty cool.
No,
Explain that one.
Yeah, explain this one to me, because I don't think I saw anything for this.
Okay, now this one I looked it up based upon the name, but The Acolyte, a Star Wars television series described as a mystery thriller from Leslie Headland, creator of Netflix's Russian Doll.
Okay.
That's me already. That made me a little bit interesting.
Yeah, it's a good pedigree.
It said a mystery thriller that would take the audience into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era.
Yeah.
And that's all they gave us. To me, it reminded me of the video game.
Okay.
Yeah, there wasn't much to go on, but it does sound like it sounds pretty cool. But yeah.
It sounds like they're ripping a little bit from Starkiller.
Yeah, a little bit, doesn't it? Yeah, now that you mention it. Yeah. But it's if we're getting the acolyte, it's one of those things of like who are they an acolyte for, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it going to be
Sith?
Well, no, I know it's going to be one of the Sith, but is it going to be like kind of like what we got in the later movies where it's like there's a slavish devotion by Kylo Ren to Vader. There's a familial tie and all that stuff, but and then it's one of the things where just someone else is like, no, I'm one of the other Darths or Maul or somebody. It'll be interesting to see who they're basically
who their High Lord is, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm curious about is the idea of who the High Lord would be.
I'm hoping it's hopefully Vader, in which he was trying to raise his own apprentice to take over Palpatine.
That could be cool. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed that one completely. This is where all the listeners are going to be screaming at me right now. High Republic is about what period in the timeline? Because my expanded universe stuff is is nothing. I know nothing, really.
I mean, honestly, that's where it threw me too, because I know Old Republic and I know New Republic. High Republic might be what we saw in the prequels, but I'm not positive. We'll have to do some research on that real quick.
Okay. Yeah, they're all screaming at us. It's this, you idiots!
Right.
Okay, all right. I'm trying to look it up now. The High Republic era was a period of time that lasted for around 200 years between approximately. I don't know the time frame at all. Hold
on. I'm looking at it too. 300 years before the Battle of Yavin and 100 years before the Battle of Yavin. So that's BBY, 200 years before A New Hope.
Yes.
It's 200 years before A New Hope. So it's even prior to the prequels. So now we've learned.
Okay, gotcha. So we're going way back.
Yeah, we're going about 80, at least 80 to 300 years before the prequels.
This could be the Old Republic as it was referred, like before it was referred to the Old Republic.
Right. So it's going to be probably like Knights of the Old Republic kind of stuff.
Like World War I being referred to as the Great War.
Well, that Knights of the Old Republic is like 1,000 years before this stuff. So I don't know.
All right.
So what I'm grasping at here is it could very well be like an origin of the Sith.
Could be.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Speculating here. Don't know.
Palpatine's master, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. I'm thinking like it could be like that Plagueis guy that Palpatine's talking about in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, because I did see some people talking about that. They were kind of geeking out about, are we going to get Plagueis? Or Plagueis, whatever his name is.
Right.
So we'll see.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 3 down. What else is there for Star Wars? There's a lot. This is really cool. It's a good time to be a Star Wars fan.
Right.
So they got a few that they're setting in the time period of The Mandalorian to go be companions to The Mandalorian. One of them is Ahsoka, which will be starring Rosario Dawson, who we just saw a couple episodes back.
Sure.
Do the first live action appearance of the beloved character from the animated series. And then the other one, not much information on this one, is called Rangers of the New Republic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's all I know about it. That's what it's called. It's set in the timeline of The Mandalorian and coming to Disney Plus, and they've got a title card for it.
Hopefully it's a spin-off of the Michael Biehn character.
I doubt it'll be a spin-off of him.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. There had been some rumors that they were considering Gina Carano's Cara Dune as a character, like to get a show, and she might be part of this, but I feel like it's not all her. So I don't know anything about this one.
Yeah.
Cool title, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it'll be interesting to see them expand the galaxy at that point in time. I've liked what they've done with Mandalorian so far.
Oh, yeah, me too. I love Mandalorian. Okay. And then, and so there's still more. We have some more.
There's still more.
Did anybody see the trailer for Bad Batch?
I did.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so this is a follow-up to the Clone Wars series?
It does appear to be a continuation of Clone Wars of some capacity.
Okay.
I've not watched the most recent, like the final season of Clone Wars, so I don't know what happens at the end. I've not gotten a chance to watch that yet on Disney Plus. So I don't know if this is, spinning out of stuff that happened there or if it's just another story takes place in the same era.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But the trailer does look cool. Like there's a lot of action. There's a lot of cool stuff blowing up in this trailer.
Yeah.
Right.
It looks a little kind of Dirty Dozen-y to me.
Yeah, which I kind of assume from the title.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that's what they're going for.
Yeah. Like a defective batch of clones that were supposed to be stormtroopers, I guess, that are like fighting for the rebellion, possibly. Again, I'm speculating here just from what the trailer looked like, which, we'll put up on letmeknowhowitis.com if you guys want to check out some of these things. Some of these that we said like are just like stills and logos for the show, but Bad Batch actually had a trailer out for it.
Okay, the one last Star Wars thing I think is Star Wars Visions, which is described as an original series of animated short films, celebrates Star Wars galaxy through the lens of the world's best Japanese anime creators, coming in 2021.
How great is that?
I mean, I'm looking forward to this because I've seen like when they've let Titmouse do the Galaxy of Adventure stuff. Like I love seeing the Star Wars stuff that we love in a different animated filter from different creators. Mm-hmm. This sounds a little bit like the Animatrix or the Batman one that we got right before Dark Knight Rises, or between Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. Was that right, or was it before Dark Knight?
It was before Dark Knight, I believe.
Okay, so but between Batman Begins and Dark Knight. So I mean, I'm excited to see what they come up with this stuff.
Yeah, me too. Like it reminded me of that fan movie of the TIE fighter pilot,
right, where you see it from the Empire perspective.
Yeah, and that had like a very anime feel to it, and it made me kind of go like, oh man, like Star Wars anime would be really really freaking cool. Yeah, like that one was out of left field, wasn't ready for that at all, but
right.
The underlying thing to all of this that I find is really cool is that it seems to be like very creator centric, with like centered on a lot of new voices. Like there's not a whole lot of like the old guard from the prequels and George Lucas obviously and stuff like that. But I mean, but like from the new movies as well. Like it doesn't I'm not seeing Abrams' name on things. I'm not seeing like Rian Johnson's name on things and they're going to a lot of new people to add voices to Star Wars, which I think is a good thing. At this point, I think the franchise needed that. Is a breadth of fresh ideas and fresh takes.
Right.
And I'm sure all these people are fans too. So like, but there were two more things, right? So there was the Kasdan Andor.
Right? Oh yeah. I skipped that one. I forgot about that one.
Yep, that's that one too.
So there's a first look video to this where it's mostly behind the scenes stuff, but it looks like it's the character from Rogue One. It looks like he's getting his own show.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Obviously set before Rogue One,
right? Yeah, and I've heard that this will have kind of like an espionage bent.
Yeah,
which is another really awesome thing. So we got like a mystery series, and we got like I'm guessing Lando is going to be the crime heisty show, and
right,
and now we have an espionage show and anime and all kinds of stuff. So like different genres, subgenres within Star Wars, which is really cool. And he was a neat character I liked in Rogue One, so it'll be cool to see more of him.
Yeah, I mean, in Rogue One, they definitely present him as like a character who's, as they said in Avengers, whose ledger is red. Like he did a lot of stuff. He did it for a good cause. He did it for the rebellion, but like he did a lot of stuff that was, for wartime, but not necessarily good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff, right.
But was all for a good cause that weighed on him. So it'll be interesting to see that angle that they go in the show of what he was doing for this good cause.
Yep.
My guess is that this one is probably the farthest along since we got some kind of video for it, and we got like stuff in the creature shop and things of that. So this, we don't know. I mean, but maybe the first to drop. I'm guessing either this or Obi-Wan.
Right.
And then we had a Rogue Squadron announcement, right?
Oh yeah.
There's so much
Star Wars.
Yeah, this had a video too that was not Not the obvious video. I'll throw it out there for one of you guys to set it up.
The video features Patty Jenkins, director of Wonder Woman, and it starts out with her talking about her father having been a fighter pilot and her looking for a story, have always wanted to be able to tell a story that related to like her father being a hero in a way, but just something that could connect to it. And it ends up with a reveal of her saying she's found a story that combines like some of her passions of fighter pilots and their story and their heroics with something else she likes. And she puts on what appears to be a Rebel flight helmet from Star Wars and walks across a runway to an X-Wing.
Yep.
Where they reveal the title card for Rogue Squadron.
Mm-hmm.
I used to love the N64 game for Rogue Squadron. It was awesome.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is a film and not a Disney Plus show, I believe.
Yeah. So that's awesome. I mean, she's great, right? Wonder Woman's really cool. I can't wait to see 1984, which should be dropping about a week from the day that we're recording, 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, so she's a get. She's a big get for Disney. That's cool.
Yeah. And this one, like, it can be set in different times. I'm not sure where they'll set this one because Rogue Squadron exists throughout the original trilogy of the Rebellion. And then in the expanded universe stuff, a lot of which isn't considered canon anymore, they existed after Return of the Jedi into the establishment of the New Republic. So it could take place during the original trilogy or in like Mandalorian time.
Right. Yeah. I'm excited. So that's, how many projects is that? God, that's like 7, 8 projects, give or take.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. Oh no, and I saw there was something for droids. There was like a short.
I'm not exactly sure what that one's about, but
it looks like the only thing I saw was that it's going to be something with the droids, obviously, with R2 and C-3PO, and then a new hero that they're with. So I guess it's going to be more of the stuff that they're around for that we've never seen before they get, to be with Anakin as well and Luke.
Right.
So
right.
I'm sure it'll be something big and, in galaxy, shattering that we just never knew about in their history, and they'll get wiped at the end. So, but yeah, that was the only thing I saw for it.
Okay. Apparently teaming with Industrial Light and Magic on that one.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, those guys are going to be busy.
Lucasfilm Animation and ILM.
ILM's going to be busy.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, so that's just like a taste of what was revealed out at this investor event. So, they did do some Marvel stuff, which we will get to. We're excited to get to that too. But, let's take a quick detour over to Pixar and the Disney animation stuff, because they had a lot of cool stuff from this too. And the thing that jumped out to me was the Raya and the Last Dragon movie that I talked about back in our animation showcase episode is one of the things I'm looking forward to. So this is dropping. It's going to be one of those same day, theatrical and streaming releases.
I do think it's following the Mulan model. So if you want it digital on same day, you're paying a premium.
Okay.
But I think it's not coming to everyone on Disney Plus on the day of release. But you do have the option.
And that looks great. That looked great. I love the trailer to that. I think it looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool looking.
So what else was out there? I mean, I saw a couple of spin-offs, a couple of announcements for new movies. What else? Anything jump at you guys?
So something's interesting is they've announced that Disney Animation's first ever original animated series are coming to Disney Plus. One of them seems to be a continuation of the Big Hero 6 series called Disney Baymax. Another is Disney Zootopia Plus, tying into that film.
Right.
Another is Tiana, which will tie into is that Princess and the Frog?
Yes.
And then the last one is Moana.
Yes.
And then, so those are based on existing properties. And then one that looks very interesting, Disney's teaming up with another company called Kigali to bring a show called Iwaju. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. IWAJU. It says in a first of its kind collaboration, Disney Animation and Pan-African entertainment company Kigali will team up to create an all-new science fiction series coming to Disney Plus in 2022. Iwaju. I mean, they've only put up like one piece of looks like concept art or promotional art of like a futuristic city. Appears to be in a similar style to like the Afrofuturism that we see depicted in Marvel's Black Panther with Wakanda.
Okay.
Which is an example of like the Afrofuturism storytelling, but of course, like they're just one example of a lot of rich storytelling. So this will be another one. It looks interesting from the art they've put.
Cool.
Yes. Going back to Iwaju, it translates from Yoruba language the future.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's steeped in science fiction. The long form series is set in Lagos, Nigeria, exploring deep themes of class, innocence, and challenging the status quo, says director Zeke Nelson. The show will combine Disney's magic and animation expertise with Kugwali's fire and storytelling authenticity. Iwaju represents a personal childhood dream of mine to tell my story and that of my people.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, this again, like not a whole lot to go on some of these things. It's just sort of like logo in some places, like concept art in the case of this last one that Clifton was talking about. Some of them had slug lines, like some of the Pixar stuff. So what are we getting? We're getting like an Up spin-off, right? Are these films? That's what was fuzzy to me.
No, it says Up. What I'm reading, it says an Up series about Doug the dog.
Can't wait. That sounds awesome.
As well as we're getting a Cars series about Lightning McQueen and Mater. We're getting the Buzz Lightyear movie.
Right.
Right. The origin, the Buzz Lightyear Strangely origin movie.
Yes, with Chris Evans as Buzz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this one was kind of sold as or not sold, whatever. The details for it is it's the story of, I guess, the guy that the toy is based off of in that world.
Okay.
Right? So like, yeah.
Gotcha.
So I guess there was like a real Buzz Lightyear, they're saying.
I'm not sure how this one's going, but
so we're not because we're not getting the Buzz Lightyear Star Command, right? The one that was the afternoon show
around 2000,
right? That who did the voice for that? Do you remember?
Tim Allen.
Was that Patrick Warburton?
Oh, you're talking about the cartoon series. Yeah,
the animated series at that point in time.
Because Nicole Sullivan is the I can't remember the female character's name,
right?
But yeah, that's the one that I was like when I first heard about Lightyear, I'm like, didn't we have a whole series that explored quote unquote what he did?
Tommy, do you have the details for Lightyear?
Yeah, the details for Lightyear is as follows. Lightyear, slated to open in theaters on June 17, 2022, is a sci-fi action adventure and the definitive origin story of Buzz Lightyear, voiced by Chris Evans. The hero inspired the toy. The film reveals how a young test pilot became the space ranger that we all know him to be today. Lightyear is directed by Angus MacLane and produced by Galen Sussman.
Very cool. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure I'm going to see all of this stuff. We glossed over Cars really quick. Frank, what I thought was cool about this one is that it was saying that it was like a road trip picture of lightning and Mater,
okay.
and I was like I love road trip movies. So that's what sounds kind of cool about it to me.
Doesn't sound too bad.
No, I was rewatching Cars a couple of days ago because my son was watching. And he's like at that age where like he's, this stuff is starting to be cool to him, and I'm just like I forgot how good Cars was, right? Because it sometimes gets kind of poo-pooed because it had like 8 million spin-offs and stuff like that. But I mean, it's a solid movie. I love Cars. So yeah, I'm into all of these things. And then I believe there was another one. There was one about a girl who turned into a red panda when she got excited.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the art for it, and I saw that it is from the animation director who directed the Bao short film.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That I think ran with Incredibles 2 in the theaters.
The name of the movie is supposed to be called Turning Red.
Turning Red. There we go. So and this was notable because this is the first woman director that's going to be doing a Pixar picture.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Which is cool too. Yeah.
Yeah, she did the short for Bao, like Clifton was saying.
A lot of cool stuff. Anything else out there for animation that we missed?
We talked about Luca.
We did not yet.
Yeah, Luca, they announced was a new original feature film opening June 18th, 2021, celebrates the universal theme of friendship. Set in a beautiful seaside town in the Italian Riviera. It is a coming-of-age story about one young boy experiencing an unforgettable summer filled with gelato, pasta, and endless scooter rides.
Oh,
sounds great.
That's right. I remember this one.
I love gelato.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember hearing about this one a couple of months ago. Yeah. Okay, so they put more details out for this. This sounds cool.
Yeah. So Lucas shares these adventures with his newfound best friend, but all the fun is threatened by a deeply held secret. They are sea monsters from another world just below the water surface.
Sold. I'm in.
Yeah, doesn't sound too bad.
I'm going.
And there's one more Pixar series that's their first ever original long-form animated series.
Yes.
Called Win or Lose. The show follows a middle school softball team in the week leading up to their championship game. And each episode is told from the perspective of a different character, which is an interesting thing for a Pixar movie to be about. It sounds fairly mundane, but I'm sure it will be great and interesting. Kind of like Bad News Bears, maybe.
Probably
maybe. So hang on. So this was animated or this was live action?
No, it's animated.
This is Pixar animated.
Okay, I was fuzzy on this one. This one actually like really, really stood out to me. I think this sounds really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Pixar animated long form original.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we have to wait some time for this. But it says it's going to debut on Disney Plus in 2023.
Oh, wow.
Well,
okay.
Sounds like there's plenty to tide us over until then.
Yeah. We'll probably be okay. Yeah. No, so the only other thing that I thought was interesting is they're doing a Night at the Museum sequel that's animated.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I hadn't seen that. Okay.
Yep. That was mentioned. Like that's all they said. They didn't. I don't think they gave any plot details about it. But that was the only other thing was.
I love Night at the Museum. Man, Tommy, you're right. We were joking before we were recording. Tommy was like, "Man, Zach, sometimes there's some stuff that just made just for you."
Yeah.
Like this whole night.
It's that deal with the devil you made.
Yeah.
It's all coming in.
It's all coming back to you.
Good grief. Animating Night at the Museum? Good God. That's going to be great. One of the best snow movies of all time, I think.
This is one I forgot. I forgot they got Ice Age from 20th Century Fox. So that's another franchise they're going to be exploring in animated form. And then just segueing a little more to some of their live action properties, they're doing a Cheaper by the Dozen. Like they're doing a new Cheaper by the Dozen, which I think they also got the rights from 20th Century Fox for that.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
But the Cheaper by the Dozen, there's a little twist to it. You seen the twist?
No, what's the twist?
The twist is a reimagining by Kenya Barris, in which the story centers on a multiracial blended family of 12.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the opposite.
They're doing Hocus Pocus 2, which Hocus Pocus is a funny one because it came out to little to no fanfare back in 1993, I think. The same summer as Jurassic Park. They released a Halloween movie like in the weeks following Jurassic Park, so no one saw it.
Right.
But in the years since, it's become like the Christmas Story, but for Halloween.
Yeah, it's a staple.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus has blown up since then, and people watch it every Halloween. So it's kind of a no-brainer to do Hocus Pocus 2 at this point.
Yeah, like Freeform plays it all the time now too. Like they'll do almost like the Christmas Story, like 24 hours.
Yep.
I recently had a coworker tell me that was her favorite movie.
Really?
Like of all movies. And I was like, really? She's like, oh yeah. She's like, I love that movie. I loved it as a kid. I was like, okay. You're the audience.
It's got staying power.
Yeah, the fan power of that is serious. Oh, yeah. That's up there with Nightmare Before Christmas. The way people love that movie, Hocus Pocus, without question.
Yeah. My wife is one of those, Frank, also, where she,
oh, really?
It was on TV. She's like, I love this movie. I'm like, what?
She's not alone, man.
I'm like, we never mentioned this when we were dating and all that stuff. I'm like, never once.
Yeah.
And then one more thing is they're revisiting Willow.
Yes.
This was announced a little bit before, so some information had come out, but we're getting a Willow series continuing from, years after Willow. It's being directed by John Chu.
Okay.
And I'm just hoping, I think Warwick Davis is back.
Okay.
I'm not sure who else will be returning,
but
I'm excited about it. I loved Willow when I was a kid.
Cool. All right. Anything else in the live action area?
Oh, there's a lot, but I was going to go back to animated real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, did you see they're doing, no, my fault. It's a hybrid of live action animated.
Okay.
Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I was excited about this.
Yeah. And then the voices for Chippendale is going to be Andy Samberg and John Mulaney.
Yeah.
With Seth Rogen doing a cameo, I wonder for what. But
Probably
yeah,
for
Monterey Jack.
Monterey Jack. Yeah. Yeah.
Who's Gadget though?
Yeah.
That's all that
Yes.
matters.
Who is Gadget? That's a good question.
So this is going to be like Alvin and the Chipmunks, right?
I assume so. Yes.
It's like live action with the CG
With
characters.
CG chipmunks. Yep.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
That's what it seems to be.
That'll be cool. It'll be neat to see like all the vehicles like made out of like pencils and water bottles and stuff like that. Like like done in real life.
They're also revisiting the Mighty Ducks.
Right. That was one I was going to bring up, Clifton.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Emilio Estevez returns as Gordon Bombay.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, he's coming back.
Oh my God.
Now they just got to bring back Pacey from Dawson's Creek, Joshua Jackson.
I gotta text my brother-in-laws right now. Like that was the movie growing up for them. That was like the endlessly quotable, like watch it, over and over and over again movie for them. Yeah. So are they bringing Foggy? Is Foggy gonna be in it? Foggy from Daredevil? Because he was the goon. He was like he was like the goon player for the Mighty Ducks in the first one.
Oh wow.
Maybe, hopefully.
Who knows? He's not doing work right now, so who knows?
Did you also see that? And this was the only reason I bring this up is because I saw her interviewed. I think like on it was either Colbert or it was James Corden. Whoopi Goldberg and Tyler Perry are making Sister Act 3 for Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's announced too.
What?
Yeah.
This 20th Century Fox well is deep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Extremely deep.
Yeah. Because I think if I remember correctly, it was Corden. Corden asked her about, do people? I'm sure people ask you about it. Do you have any plans? And she was coy about saying, "Yeah, I'm doing something."
Yeah.
and apparently she's already like it's in the works. So
I don't know how long she was sitting on that nugget.
I don't know. Wow. Because other than stuff here and there, she's not shown up on, she's not other than like being on the View. She's not really
on the
much.
View and stuff. Yeah.
Well, then there's that one where Sir Patrick Stewart asked her to come on the second season of Picard, which she said yes.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. So this is the bigger one.
She's one of us.
Yeah.
She's apparently one of us. She's a huge animation junkie. She's a huge sci-fi person.
Yeah.
I think that we would all get along with Whoopi Goldberg like famously if we met her.
Just put that out in the universe. Sure.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, that was the one that I was like, oh, okay, you being so sly, Whoopi, you knew what you were doing.
Oh yeah,
you knew it was a thing. It was already in the works. So,
well, yeah, I remember like going back really quick to Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I remember like Ewan McGregor on some talk shows and stuff like that too, be it like kind of the same thing where once it got announced a couple of months ago, he was like, I can finally like tell people, like he's like, it's been forever. Yeah. Like people still ask me about Star Wars and I gotta play stupid.
Yeah.
Like we haven't been talking about this thing for, like a couple of years. It sounds like.
Yeah. Well, I remember it's put that way for a couple of times where I've seen people like be on, like people that were in Avengers and like in a lot of those movies would show up on some place. And then all of a sudden, like one of the bits, I think it was Don Cheadle was on some talk show and he started to talk about Disney. And the joke was like, all of a sudden he had red dots appearing all over his body, like sniper rifles. So it's like, oh, I better stop talking about this.
Yeah.
So
it's cool. Those NDAs, those non-disclosure agreements, those things are airtight.
Unless you're Tom Holland. So
no, Disney must get that out like candy because the number of projects and people associated that haven't spoken a word of anything is amazing.
No. Well, the other thing is the fact that we got are we going to transition to Marvel?
Ooh, not just yet.
Hey, we're going to make a quick pit stop. We're going to make a quick pit stop because there was a couple of other like surprises out there that we weren't expecting. Like, so like FX had like a presence in this.
Before you go on, the slate of the live action ones haven't finished as far as calling back to older material that Disney's just reinvigorating with a live action rendition.
Okay.
Like, of course, we knew about The Little Mermaid, but they gave us more information on that.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Halle Bailey from Chloe X Halle is the lead role, but the cast includes Awkwafina, Daveed Diggs, Javier Bardem, and Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
And then they're bringing Alan Menken and Lin-Manuel Miranda for the music, which is going to be insane.
Oh, see, I didn't heard that part. I only heard that about the cast. I heard that like Melissa McCarthy was playing Ursula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's Pinocchio, live action version of that, directed by Robert Zemeckis and Tom Hanks stars.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Then there's Peter Pan and Wendy. That one I didn't know about.
No, I didn't hear about that either.
Yeah. They have Yara Shahidi, the oldest child in Blackish or in Grownish, as the role of Tinkerbell. You also have Jude Law as Captain Hook.
Okay.
And then I don't know if you're a big fan of Enchanted, but they're doing an exclusive sequel on Enchanted, which that's another
long-awaited sequel.
Yeah, a lot of people waiting for Amy Adams to return for that role.
Yeah, it's one they had talked about for years that never manifested, but I'm excited to see it.
And then there's Cruella.
Right.
That one's definitely coming next year.
Emma Stone.
Mm-hmm. That one's huge for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one too.
Yeah. It's always that you forgot with the slate of stuff that's coming down the pipeline. It's enough to think that they can come out with new stuff that people are wanting every week and still have more stuff to show you.
Yeah, this is a packed slate.
Yes.
Packed slate. We haven't even gotten to Marvel yet. But
no.
So all right, but let's take a quick pit stop to FX then. So what was like the big news for this one?
The one I was shocked to see was go ahead, Frank. That was what I was going to say.
Sorry, Chloe, but yeah, that was the one that shocked me. I was like, really? Of all the stuff that I heard, he might possibly do, Noah Hawley's doing Alien.
Yes, yes.
I had no inkling this was coming.
No,
I saw a quote about this earlier this week.
No, did you really? Okay,
right, because he was in talks to do like a movie,
okay,
for a while. And then like Ridley Scott apparently like came out and like wanted to do more with the property and stuff like that. And so like Noah Hawley's stuff got kind of moved to the sideline. And so like as with his stuff with like his Doom movie and his Star Trek stuff, where like people were asking like, what about this? What about this that he's working on? And the last thing I heard was that it was like there may be a point where we can see Noah Hawley's Alien. Depending on what Disney wants to do with the property. I mean, literally, I saw this like Monday.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then today it was like, no, like it's happening.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. It says, the quote that he said is he was, show promises to blend both the timeless horror of the first Alien film with the nonstop action of the second.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what I thought too. I was like, okay. I mean, if you could make it work, absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
and Noah Hawley, just for anyone who might not know, is showrunner of Fargo and Legion on FX. And I love Legion. I've not seen Fargo, unfortunately, yet, but I love Legion.
Everything I've seen of Legion, I love too. It's great.
Yeah,
I love Fargo.
I like everything of his I've seen. So he's great. He's somebody to keep an eye on. That Doom movie would have been awesome.
Yeah, that's my fervent hope and wish is that the next thing they announce for is for him to do at Disney is Doom. Like I want that movie to happen in the worst possible way. So
was there anything else at FX besides the Alien stuff, which is cool because this is a show?
Yeah,
right? It sounds like.
Oh my gosh, there's so much.
So and also at FX is the long awaited series for Why the Last Man.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go.
That is finally, I guess, getting an official release promised. There's been, this show has been optioned so many times as movies first. And then it shows, and then they did a pilot, and then they scrapped the pilot, and then they went in production again. And I think that's what we're getting this time.
Right.
So far, we don't know much other than Diane Lane is in it.
Oh, no.
Right.
Do we know if she's supposed to play his mom?
I assume that's who she is supposed to play.
She's York's mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Cool. She's a good choice.
No, actually, based upon what they gave the investors, they gave a little bit of a blurb there. The series follows the survivors, which we know. Eliza Clark serves as a showrunner and executive producer along with Nina Jacobson, Bad Simpson, Mary Jo Winkler, Alfreda, and a couple other people I'm going to butcher their names on. But the series stars Diane Lane, Ashley Romans, Brent Schneitzer, Olivia Thirlby, Amber Tamblyn, Miriam Ireland, Diana Bang, Elliot Fletcher, and Juliana Canfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to look them up. I know Amber Tamblyn.
Yeah.
Right.
And Olivia Thirlby was in Dread.
Okay.
Okay.
I think she was Judge Anderson, wasn't she?
I think so. Ooh, I forgot about her. You're right.
Why the Last Man is fantastic. I'm not done with it. I've read about 4 trades of it. It is a awesome story. This was, Frank, I used to tell you, like, when Walking Dead was big on AMC, and naturally it was like what else is out there that's kind of smells like Walking Dead that we can do that's like this but different. And so they went with Preacher.
Yeah,
naturally is the thing. And I was always saying, I'm like, it's Why the Last Man. Why the Last Man should have been the next thing. It's post-apocalyptic, but not at all in the same way.
No. Well, I mean, for those who don't know, if you don't know what the story is, the story follows Yorick, a magician and an escape artist enthusiast, who basically wakes up one day and is the last man on Earth.
Yep.
And it's one of those things where if you've ever seen that premise done, it's usually done in a way where it's very much a fantasy type situation, and this is not that at all.
Nope, not that at all.
No, not at all.
No.
There's the world reasserts itself with all of the men gone, except for him, and he, the base of the whole story is, Tommy, what would you say there's more to it that I'm missing about Why the Last Man?
Just the world as shaped,
without giving stuff away.
The world and what we can envision it if there was only one man there. That's all I'm going to say, because you guys know from the spoiling stuff, so I'm not going to embellish.
Yeah, but it's a great series. It's by Brian K. Vaughan and Pia Guerra. Terrific book. If you've never read it, highly recommend it. We were talking a little bit before in the idea that it's from Vertigo, from DC, but now that it's on, it was optioned by FX, and now that it's at Disney, it's kind of a weird idea that it's there instead of a Warner Brothers project. But these things happen. So
yeah, that's funny. All right, anything else with FX really quick before we move on?
New show called Platform with O'Shea Jackson, George Wallace, Ed Asner. It's an anthology series.
Okay.
The second episode stars John Bernthal, Boyd Holbrook, Amy Landecker, Bo Bridgers. I mean, each one is an anthology with a whole different cast.
Okay.
Each episode. That's going to be interesting.
What's the show about?
That's all they said about it. The show is from B.J. Novak, an acting award-winning writer of The Office. It's a half-hour anthology television series from FX that uses the boldest issues of our times as a jumping-off point to tell singular, character-driven stories about the world we live in today.
Okay.
Next, Reservation Dogs.
Yeah, that sounded kind of cool.
Yeah, it did. A new half-hour comedy coming-of-age story about 4 Native American teenagers growing up on a reservation in eastern Oklahoma who spend their days committing crimes and fighting it. An interesting point is Taika Waititi's involved in it, and the rest are unknown. Series stars Dave Farrell and a whole bunch of people that I don't want to butcher their names. And the interesting was they're bringing back Shogun. You see that?
Yeah, I saw that too.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah. I can't believe that. I remember back in the day when I had to walk away from the TV because it was a mini series in feudal Japan, but they're trying to make it Game of Thrones epic like. They're bringing more to the story than what was originally envisioned.
It is like a 1,000-page book.
I was reading that book for a little while. That's an unrelenting book.
Is it really?
Yep.
Just as far as like page count goes, right? Like, you know how like when you're reading and you get to like the end of the chapter, normally a book would just like leave the rest of the page as white space and then start the next chapter on the next page. And it's like at least the version of Shogun I was reading, it like the chapter ended and then the next chapter started like the next line. And I was like, this is grueling.
Yeah.
This book is beating the crap out of me.
It's a marathon
I need
book.
that break.
Right.
Oh, wow.
They don't let you feel that sense of achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last one I'll mention is the so-called Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Follows 3 strangers played by Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez, who share an obsession with true crime and suddenly find themselves wrapped up in one. The 10-episode series is expected to debut next year, 2021.
It sounds fun. It sounds
like
Steve Martin and Martin Short and something. That's great.
Yeah. Too bad they couldn't do Chevy.
Selena Gomez is cool too, but just the fact that Steve Martin and Martin Short, I know are like so close in real life. It's cool to see them do something, a project together because it's been a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only other thing that I'd heard about that I was excited about, but I think I'd heard about it before, was The Old Man.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that. I'm looking at that now. But Jeff Bridges, right?
Right. Yeah. Jeff Bridges is a former CIA operative who was forced to reconcile with his past. And we don't, other than like occasionally he plays the bad guy or kind of a jerky character, but we don't see it all that often. But I like him in that role. So I'm excited for that. I think that should be a pretty good series.
Oh, you forgot Lithgow's in it too.
Is he really? I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing wrong with Lithgow.
Not at all. And then the rest is just knowledge about what's coming back, like Atlanta, American Horror Story, Dave, What We Do in the Shadows, Mayans MC, Better Things, Snowfall, Archer, and 4 more seasons.
Yeah, 4 more seasons, Sunny.
Of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. 4 more seasons.
That's a lot. It's a commitment, but it's good.
Yeah,
it's a funny show.
Yes. And that's FX.
Good for them. Congratulations to those guys. That's awesome. 4 seasons. Good grief.
Yeah. So I said, geez. Try walking away from that show.
All right. Okay, so we're moving on to the big kahuna now, at least the big kahuna for us.
Yes.
All right, Marvel.
The main event.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Where are we starting? I mean, so there are some trailers, and there was also some projects that were just that were announced too. That some we knew about, some we didn't. Some were complete surprises.
I would say let's start with the first one that's debuting the
right. That's what I was going to say too.
Yeah.
All right, WandaVision. Let's do it.
Yeah, indeed.
So they dropped the second trailer for this.
Right. I mean, the trailer doesn't show us much more than. I mean, it pretty much shows us stuff that we kind of already knew. The idea that it's going to be, sort of like looking at them through. I mean, the shows that looks like it's referencing are like Dick Van Dyke and Bewitched and the Brady Bunch. Where they got the AstroTurf in the backyard. As they're moving through this, it doesn't obviously give us much of an idea of what the villain might be. At first, Tommy and I were talking about it before, and I had thought from what I've read of those characters at that time when they're together before they have their was it Tommy and what's the other one? These kids, Tommy and Billy, the 2 kids that end up being Wiccan and Swift. It's one of those things where it looks like they're trying to do some of that stuff
from the comics, if that's what they're adapting.
I'm talking about in the comics, what I'm referring to. With a little bit of the Tom King Vision mini thrown in as well. Yeah.
There's some definite nods to that in there. Too.
It'll be interesting to see because so much of that stuff was, I guess they're going to be able to basically give us the I don't know how much time has passed or whether or not this is a construct of someone else is doing it to them or Wanda has trapped them in this kind of a House of M thing.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for it. I can't wait.
Yeah, I am too. It appears to, like, when Clifton brought up, Legion in the FX section, we were talking Noah Hawley. It has a Legion flavor from the trailers, at least. It almost like they're trying to do their take on that.
Sure. Well, that's that's not a bad, as much as a lot of these shows, and I'm not saying I'm not saying the FX or the Marvel stuff or not the FX. I'm sorry, the Netflix Marvel stuff or any of the Marvel MCU stuff that they've done. A lot of it can be cookie cutter, and Legion's definitely one of those that is not.
Yeah.
For storytelling, for imagery. So I agree with you. I think they're trying to make it, a little more Legion-like,
psychosis-like,
or psychedelic-like, or it might be. I mean, that's part of the reason why it's got that. I mean, it's one of those. They didn't really delve into her, ability to warp reality all that much.
Right.
And I'm guessing that's where the next evolution of her stuff is. And again, the idea that they're going to tie it in, that was one of the things they announced was it's tying into the Doctor Strange sequel because Wanda's supposed to be in that.
Right.
And then they're also supposed to be tying that into Spider-Man 3.
Right.
So it's a lot of, I wonder if it's, depending on how much of it basically gets bigger than what's going on in this town. I don't know. But either way, like I said, I'm super excited.
Possibly connected to some more too. I don't know. I mean, that's all speculative stuff, but
right.
Yeah.
There
was a casting that I heard about that has not been in either trailer or anything we've seen so far.
Right.
Which I don't know if I want to get into. It may be a potential spoiler, but we don't know.
All right.
I want to know.
So You want to know?
You can tell me off.
You guys want to know? Clifton? Frank?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay, sure.
And listeners, you can turn away for a minute if you don't want to spoil.
Right.
Yeah. My understanding is Evan Peters is cast in this.
Okay.
Who was Quicksilver from the Days of Future Past movies.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd heard that, but I heard that rumor too, but I thought it was for Doctor Strange, not for this. I could be wrong.
Okay. No, I thought it was for this, and he could be playing really anybody. We don't know, but I have to assume that like you cast a familiar face from a Marvel movie over there, and you're bringing him over here,
right?
Especially when he's playing a character that has a connection to the one of the people this show is named after.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it's one of those things where if they're doing that, it's really cool. It's just one of those things where the idea of the fact that Doctor Strange is supposed to be what in the madness of the multiverse or whatever.
Multiverse of madness.
There it is. Thank you, Clifton. Yeah, it's one of the things where we're going to see. I mean, that's a rumor for Spider-Man 3. That's a rumor for Doctor Strange, the sequel. Is we're going to get a lot of varied visions, no pun intended, of
alternate versions.
Yeah, of characters that we've seen in the MCU, and even talk of actors that were up for various roles of characters we've seen before playing those characters in this movie. We just don't know about it yet.
Yeah.
So
it looks very much like don't try and figure it out. Mm-hmm. There'll be a moment where like it all makes sense.
Sure.
is my feeling looking at the trailer. Also, I'm like, it looks like it's going to be confusing, but intentionally.
Right. Well, the other thing was that I remember for a long time they were talking, especially when they started talking about the Infinity Stones and bringing people back and all that stuff. That I can't remember who was the actor who played Quicksilver in the MCU.
Oh, he was from Kick-Ass,
and he was also in Godzilla with her.
He was
Aaron Tyler Johnson.
That's
Am I getting the name right?
Good pull.
Okay.
There was talk that he was, he had always, from the point on of Age of Ultron, he was always, he had signed for 3 movies, right? So there's always speculation of some point of him somehow coming back. So I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back at some point in all of this multiverse of stuff. So
yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Right.
Aaron Taylor Johnson. Okay. You were close.
Oh, very close. Damn.
Yes. So
well, yeah, no, and that's when we were talking about our favorite like Marvel moments too. That's one of those things where like in Age of Ultron, when Cap is like, when you die, walk it off.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. I wonder if that's a nod to something.
Sure. And then of course the whole thing of the teasing Hawkeye about you didn't see that coming.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, no. I'm like I said, I'm super excited for it. I read when the first miniseries came out for the two of them with I think it's Bill Mantlo and Rick Leonardi did the art of the 4 issue, and then they had a 12 issue. Like they gave him another one that was right on the time of when West Coast Avengers started. I read all that stuff. So yeah, this will be exciting to see. I'm very excited for this one.
It's cool. It's coming soon. We're getting it soon, January 15th.
Right.
So that this is going to be the first one out of the gate. So,
yep.
But okay. So we got a trailer for WandaVision. We got trailers for what else? Do we want to do Loki next? Or do we want to do Falcon Winter Soldier? Because Falcon Winter Soldier has a date.
Let's do that one then.
Actually, okay, yeah, let's do that one. So Falcon Winter Soldier is coming out March 19th, 2021. So that's also pretty soon, not too far away. I can't wait for this one.
No, yeah, of course.
I've been waiting too long already.
Yes. I know.
Yeah, this one looks like looks like kind of like a buddy cop / midnight runish type movie where they're kind of thrown together in the situation and they don't really like each other, but they kind of have that tie of, being Cap's buddy or Cap's partner. Yeah. And therefore they have to work together, which is always fun.
Right. It's nice to see Sam in red and white.
Yeah.
Which that was cool. I'm digging the new outfit.
Mm-hmm.
In breaking news, Bucky got a haircut.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yes. He gave his old haircut to Robert Pattinson in the Batman. So, but I like everything. The trailer looks cool. I mean, it expand a little bit more on what we got when we saw the little tease. I think it was around the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
They showed more stuff. It almost seems like, even though Cap, this is a spoiler for Endgame. If you haven't seen Endgame, go watch that. The idea that Cap sort of chooses a successor And it still seems like we're getting a little bit of reluctant hero stuff in this. Like nobody really wants to pick up the shield.
Right.
On both sides, whether, Bucky's like, no, it's yours kind of a thing. And Sam doesn't seem like he's, I was hoping that when I saw that the title was Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm like, all right, I definitely want to see Sam be Captain America, but I'd also like to see them just be brave and bold and be like, again, no pun intended, and just be like, the next Captain America movie is this one, and it's with Sam Wilson.
Yeah, I think wait a year.
Yeah,
I think we'll get an announcement for that soon.
I agree, but at the same time, I don't want them to basically, waver or seem like they're kind of like, well, we don't know, but
right. No, yeah, I don't think that's it.
Yeah,
I don't know for sure, but I think it's just I think it's a fun way to play off of the fact that we know that Bucky did it for a little while in the comics too, and I think it's it may just be playing with the fan expectation a little bit of like who's gonna do it,
right?
But yeah, no, I think this one's looks really, really cool, and there's a lot of characters in this one that were Zemo's coming back. I'm thrilled for that. I love Zemo in Civil War. I'm assuming that we're going to see him costumed this time around.
Yeah, there's rumors.
There was concept art you can find from Civil War of like a depiction with the mask and stuff, and it looked really nice. They just opted not to go that way, so maybe they'll go back to that design.
Yeah.
Oh no, they showed the image of it, but I don't think you guys saw it. So I don't know if I should say where I saw it, but yeah, I saw what the image of Zemo was going to look like. I'm surprised you guys didn't come across it, to be quite honest.
I saw the Civil War ones. I saw that art.
Well,
yeah.
I used to collect a lot of Funko Pops, which I've stopped. But every once in a while, I like to see what they're coming out with. But they weren't able to stop that particular line from dropping. So it's one of the characters. Of the 3 Pops they dropped, one of them was Baron Zemo. You get an imagery of what he looks like. I'm assuming that's what he looks like in the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. We get Emily Van Camp back. Sharon Carter. Another cool addition.
But I can't help but think this is a show where what I'm going to say, and this is just a prediction, that's going to be the new Shield, where it moves pieces around, I believe.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is we still don't know what the next roster of Avengers is going to be. Who's going to take the mantle? Who's going to take the leadership? How they're going to come together as a team and where they're moving forward. So I think a lot of people need their story pushed forward, like Bucky, in order to be a team player, in my opinion. That's what I'm assuming or hoping, that this evolves into something of that nature.
I can see that.
Yeah, because it's only 6 episodes.
Yeah, it's not very long, it sounds like.
Yeah.
6 like $20 million episodes.
I know, right? These are not cheap shows.
Right. Yeah.
If Mandalorian is any judge, these shows don't look cheap.
No, not at all.
Or maybe it was $100 million show that they made into 6 parts.
They cut it up 6 parts. Yeah, that could be. Well, that's what the only quote that I saw about it beyond the fact of this just showed the stuff in general was someone said that it was basically watching a movie in 6 parts. So that's not a bad guess that it's all one continuous story, but they might have just edited it down to 6 episodes.
I mean, it's going to have amazing scenes in those 6 episodes.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. Well, the scene they showed of him going through the canyon was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nah, I refrained. I can wait.
Oh, you didn't look at it?
Nope. It's March.
Oh, well.
Oh, my gosh. I'm good.
Okay. All right. Somebody's got to explain the Loki trailer to me.
Oh.
Okay.
The TVA. Oh my God. When they showed that, blew my mind. I let Frank do, because he's very eloquent. Excuse me, in his description of comic book knowledge. No, go right ahead, sir.
So basically, the TVA is, if I remember correctly, was during Walt Simonson's run on Fantastic Four.
Yes,
they're introduced. The TVAs are introduced there, and they're sort of like, they're like Limbo or what is it? DC not the Wave Riders. The Wave Riders. Where they have
the Wave Riders?
The Vanishing Point.
Yes.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of like Vanishing Point, except they're much more organized. They're much more like by the book and
very corporate.
Yeah, they're very pencil pushy, but with time, right?
Okay.
So it's one of those things where he's going to be put in some kind of time prison. I'm guessing that's what they want to do with him, or they may just make him some kind of time agent.
Okay, interesting.
That's basically what they are. You've seen them before. It's in other stuff, but that's where I remember. That's where it's based on that stuff from Walt Simonson's run on Fantastic Four.
Oh, they give us the time sled.
Yeah, of course. Yes,
interesting.
That would be very cool. Rosebud 2, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, Rosebud 2.
This is all setting up very nicely.
Yeah, of course.
All right, knowing that we have Kang cast.
Right. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's one of those things where, again, I still we talked a little bit amongst ourselves the idea that with Kang on the horizon, I'm kind of hoping that they play Kang as, no, you guys broke time. This is all your fault. This is basically all this stuff, and someone has to basically put you in your place. I like the fact that, like with Baron Mordo, it's not just I'm a mustache twirling villain and I've got a motivation for the fact that I'm doing this stuff. But I don't know, because all we know is who's cast for it so far and the title of the movie.
Right.
So, yeah, interesting cast.
Yeah.
Owen Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's cool. I never pronounce this woman's last name. Gugu Mbatha Raw. And you've seen her.
But when I was looking at the trailer for it, I thought it was interesting that they had and it might just be the motif of like when he's going like before the judge. But seeing as we have, obviously we've introduced Doctor Strange, we haven't had like the Living Tribunal or any of that stuff.
Not yet.
But there's three there's three faces over top of the top of where the judge sits.
So I didn't think about that. That definitely could be the Living Tribunal.
So I don't know whether that's going to play into things or not. It'd be kind of interesting if it does, but that's, it's kind of like, I know it's a bit of a stretch, but still. No, I mean, the trailer for Loki looks cool. I mean, it'll be fun to see, to see him do his thing.
Yeah.
I was surprised that we got a trailer and that they filmed some part of it,
Right.
Yeah, I was surprised by how much they showed. It looks like they had a good bit of production done.
Yeah, indeed.
But no date on that one, right?
No, May 2021.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. All right. Very good.
It looks like hyphenated genres.
Yeah.
Making up that move, right? Like it looks like that there very easily could have been kind of like a spy type episode, and and all kinds of other things too, which I thought was cool. I love when a show has a flexible tone like that. Again, snap judgment, just a trailer, just a 2-minute trailer. But so okay, so what else do we got? What If?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Clifton, I know you were super excited about this. You mentioned this one.
Yeah, and I hadn't seen much before. We talked about it on our animation episode a couple back. I'd seen a couple like still frames of it, but now like the animation looks nice.
Yeah, it does.
And it was nice seeing we saw the bits that have some to do with Agent Carter and some to do with T'Challa and the Guardians. And that was a nice bit. So I'm really looking forward to that one.
Very cool.
And I don't know who we got back for voices. I think most of the people portray themselves.
Well,
portray the characters they played in the movies.
I mean, from the trailer, you could tell that like Michael Rooker was Yondu again.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that, I know that I've heard it talked about a little bit, is that it is Chadwick Boseman. It might be one of the last times he actually plays T'Challa is in this.
Right.
So
yeah,
that'll be good. That'll be a nice
right.
bit as
be
well.
Emotional. That'll be moving.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they got Agent Carter.
Yeah, Haley Atwell, I'm sure it's her.
Yeah. So
Jeffrey Wright is the Watcher, right?
Oh
yeah.
Sounds awesome. So no, I'm excited for it too.
This is directed by Brian Andrews. This is a Samurai Jack guy. He's awesome.
Is it? Okay.
This is great.
Brian Andrews.
That's great news.
Yeah, Brian Andrews' direction, and Ashley Bradley is the head writer.
Okay. Yeah. No, I can't wait for this one too.
Yep.
This is the one that I was surprised that we didn't get, but then I was like, okay, well, I'm like maybe they have to wait for Black Widow to come out first before they play around with this.
No, it sounds like the thing. But that was one thing I was going to bring up was obviously we've been waiting for Black Widow for a while, but that's the one that it looks like Disney just like it's a prequel.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I think. That's how they're treating. Like it's a prequel. We can put it out whenever. There's no rush. So I think they're going to keep it off of Disney Plus.
What If was scheduled for 2021 from the start.
Okay.
It was always scheduled for 2021, and I assume didn't get delayed.
Okay, so then we got a slate of some other stuff that didn't really have any. We just got logos similar to the Star Wars stuff. So anybody have those handy?
Yes.
Because there's, again, some we knew about, some we were expecting, and then some like, that's a surprise.
Well, let's talk about the ones we knew, because we knew full well that we were getting Moon Knight, right?
Right.
And we knew we were getting She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we knew we were getting Ms. Marvel.
Yes.
And
Hawkeye.
And Hawkeye.
Right.
So those 4.
I mean, the one thing with She-Hulk is that it was confirmed to be Tatiana Maslany finally, after long rumored.
Right.
No, I think she didn't want to kill her NDA. That's why she killed all thoughts, or she had to disavow any knowledge of being in the role, probably.
Yeah, probably.
But did you see who's part of She-Hulk?
Yeah, there was a couple big names there.
Yeah, I was surprised at the deep dive as to who they wanted to play certain people.
Yeah.
Who are you talking about, Tommy?
In She-Hulk, they have Tim Roth coming to play the Abomination.
Yeah, that was one.
That's cool.
He's returning from the vault.
Yeah.
Oh, from the vault, yeah.
Or wherever he's been all this time.
Yeah. But yeah, they said that Ruffalo's coming back too. So
that's the Hulk, yeah.
He was one of the people who first congratulated Tatiana Maslany.
He's terrible with NDAs too.
When she was cast, when those rumors came out.
Yeah.
And called her cuz.
Yes. Yep. So that'll be cool. I mean, that, I guess they're going to go with the classic origin of the blood transfusion. I guess. I don't know.
Probably.
So that'll be cool.
Or a variation of it.
Yeah, some kind of variation.
I'm still pulling for Tim Blake Nelson as leader. I'm still pulling for it.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I'm all for that too. But yeah, no, She-Hulk sounds, everything I've heard about She-Hulk so far sounds really cool.
We knew about Captain Marvel 2.
Right.
Also.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So it sounds like Monica Rambeau grown up.
Yeah.
We'll get in the sequel. That's cool.
Right. Well, she's also in WandaVision.
Yeah.
Right. She's just in WandaVision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The woman
awesome.
from the teaser, the second trailer we got for it, basically, the woman that comes to the door to talk to Wanda, that's Monica Rambeau.
Mm-hmm.
That's the grown-up actress playing her. So it'll be interesting to see how that comes about, if that's where she gets her power set, is from WandaVision.
Yeah.
Or if she's already got it, we don't know. So
yeah, who knows?
And then the actress that's playing Ms. Marvel is also in Captain Marvel 2.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's coming late 2021, Ms. Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I liked what we saw for that. There wasn't much, but it looks a lot like the comic. It definitely looks like it has a pretty good feel for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm good. I'm happy with that.
That's going to be a fun one too. She's a great character.
Oh yeah. No, I think that show will be really, really big.
Yeah.
There's one we forgot that we didn't mention. I'm surprised Zach didn't bring up at all. Was Hawkeye.
My thing about that is, with all the quote unquote leaks from that set, someone's doing some professional leaking.
Yeah.
Because those photos don't look like they're somebody's grainy, terrible phone. It's like, no, it's like someone with a really good camera is taking those shots. Yeah. I'm glad. I mean, I'd much rather have that than the nonsense of shot through somebody's armpit. But
yeah. And the one thing we found out recently from those leaks is that it's definitively Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop, which had also long been rumored but not confirmed.
Right.
Until pictures of her in costumes started coming out. Lots of pictures, apparently.
Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of them out already. Yeah. Looks great, though. I'm excited for a lot of stuff that I've heard about that show, too. That it's going to, obviously it's got some fingers in the Matt Fraction run of Hawkeye, the Matt Fraction and David Aja.
Right.
Just great stuff. If you want to check out those, it's 4 trades of Hawkeye. But we're getting Echo. As part of that show, and whole lot of cool stuff.
So now for the shows that we weren't aware of until announcements today. Secret Invasion, starring Samuel L. Jackson, back as Nick Fury, of course, and Ben Mendelsohn, who is Talos in Captain Marvel and Far From Home. Well, spoiler alert for Far From Home.
Yes.
So it's an interesting choice. Some of these shows, a couple of them, seem to be like limited series. Like they seem to be taking a specific story from Marvel Comics and adapting just that one story. So I feel like it's kind of like a mini series or a limited series. And this one falls into that because it is one event from the comics.
Right.
But I really like Talos from what we've seen of him in the movies. I think the actor's great. So I'm excited to see more from him. Secret Invasion is sort of a Invasion of the Body Snatchers type story, but with Skrulls.
Right.
Where Skrulls are taking over and you don't know who's a Skrull and who's not. And I think it'll be really interesting to see depicted.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the casting is for that show beyond those two also, because
like who will show up.
How many more Avengers are going to pop up in that show?
Right.
Right.
That might be them and might not.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because the paranoia is what you want to play with an idea like that. Like, is that really Carol Danvers, or is that really, War Machine?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was very surprised that Secret Invasion got announced as basically a miniseries.
Yeah.
Right.
And speaking of War Machine, what's the other one?
Armor Wars.
Right.
Yep.
That to me is I'm glad they're doing it, because it's not one of the ones we really got to see actually with Robert Downey Jr. It's a fairly big story from like the late mid 80s. It's done twice. It's done a couple times, but basically the main plot is the Iron Man armor, the circuitry, the stuff that some of the technology that Tony has falls into other people's hands, and people get hurt or people die because of it. So basically, this looks like it's going to be Rhodey going after people that have Tony's tech.
Yeah.
One thing, I like the idea of Rhodey doing his own thing. The only problem with that is the he'll need someone to help repair and maintain his armor since he's not Tony.
Right.
And it might just be a situation where there's something that's set up for that, or they might bring in other characters from Iron Man that we haven't seen before, like the Iron Man comic. I have an idea.
Or from another show.
Sure. Right. We might get some character from another show. But the only thing about it is there's a lot of characters that haven't been set up yet within Marvel MCU stuff. So I'm kind of interested about how they're going to get around that. Because in the comics, it's like the Crimson Dynamo from Russia and the Titanium Man and like Stingray. If you're familiar with that character, it's kind of an obscure character from Marvel. But there's a lot of those things that they haven't done they haven't done the plot, the planting yet for it. So they may have to set it up and take them down in the same episode, kind of a thing. But either way, I'm excited because it's it's more Don Cheadle being basically Iron Man or War Machine.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what struck me about that too is they announced Ironheart.
Right.
Also, and she was a character from Brian Michael Bendis' run in Iron Man during the Marvel Now stuff, and she was sort of like the successor to Tony.
Right.
And yeah, so it's just hearing you riffing on that stuff, Frank, made me go like, is she going to be introduced in Armor Wars first?
Right.
And spin off into her own show, or what's the deal? Like, it's a little surprising to me that that they're not explicitly saying how those shows are going to talk to each other, but I assume they're going to.
I would imagine so.
Right? Yeah. Yep. So what else did we get?
The Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special coming for holiday season of 2022.
Right.
And I hope this one is in the spirit of the Star Wars holiday special.
I think it has to be.
I hope there is drinking involved and musical numbers.
Right.
Just like the Star Wars one.
This is the one, so again, supposed to be like written and directed by James Gunn, right?
Yep.
I don't know how he's gonna have like where's he getting the time for all of this stuff now? Because it's like
he's busy.
He it was announced he just finalized the Suicide Squad, as the final cut and everything. Which and then there was like, during lockdown, he was like, I wrote a TV series for Peacemaker.
Yeah, every episode.
which he's going to be involved with too. He's going to do that as well. And now he's got a Christmas special that he's doing for Guardians. I'm like, hey, and I love all of this. I want all of it.
Right. Oh yeah, of course.
But
no, I guess with the way things are right now, he's had nothing but time. So
that's great.
He's not wasting any time. He's been writing all as much as he can.
He's a very productive man.
Yeah, yes. Exactly. Super surprised by this one. Had no idea.
Yeah. Totally agree.
They're doing I Am Groot animated shorts featuring Baby Groot for Disney Plus, which I imagine will be fun. Finally revealed who Christian Bale will be playing in Thor: Love and Thunder. He had been rumored to have joined the cast a little while ago.
Oh, this is awesome.
We now know he is playing the villain Gore the God Butcher.
Yes. Yes. From the Jason Aaron run.
Oh.
Yeah, at the start of Jason Aaron's long run.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah, it looks like Love and Thunder is going to have a lot of Jason Aaron influence.
Yeah, which is great. Jason Aaron's Thor books are some of my favorites of recent years.
Right. Yeah, they're great stuff. So.
Oh, yeah.
And then one other thing, we do have a title now for the third Ant-Man film that we knew was coming. And the title for the film is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And the other things we've known about this is it's also going to feature Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer. And we had heard the casting already for Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror from HBO's Lovecraft Country.
Yep.
Who is a great actor. I'm excited to see what he does with that. And there is one other new casting piece of news with this one, which is they have cast Catherine Newton as Cassie in this one, as the grown-up Cassie in this one. So that is not the actress that played her in Endgame.
Right.
Okay.
So they are basically recasting from what we saw in Endgame. But Catherine Newton is great. I love Catherine Newton. She was in Detective Pikachu, which is what some people might know her from. But she was also the star of The Society on Netflix, which I liked a lot, the Mark Webb kind of paranormal teen drama show. And then she's currently in Freaky, which just came out. She's the star of the horror film Freaky with Vince Vaughn, and it's getting good reviews. I hear good stuff about her in that. So I think she's very good.
Right.
I had wondered, knowing that there was probably going to be stories with a grown-up Cassie, I had wondered in Endgame, if they had gotten on the page with everyone in cast who they had wanted to use, in the future for those stories. And it turns out probably not. They probably just cast not thinking that far ahead. But I am excited to see a grown-up Cassie and if they're going to go into that stories, like the stuff we know of her in the comics.
Right.
Which I think they are.
Right. Well, I mean, that's the thing is we've heard from various things that, all of these shows are setting up young Avengers.
Right.
And she's a key part of that, along with, having Jonathan Majors play Kang. Spoiler there, he's Iron Lad in one of his, lifetimes or one of his, his life. But, and then the fact that with WandaVision, we're getting the twins, which are also part of. So there's a lot of seeding of stuff for later as well.
Kate Bishop.
Oh yeah, and Kate Bishop, of course.
Kate Bishop. Yeah, we're getting other members from stories we know of.
As well as that's one thing about Falcon and Winter Soldier is the idea that there's Isaiah Bradley from Truth.
Right.
The Kyle Baker mini about
which leads to Patriot.
Yeah, the first Captain America. So it's all there. I'm hoping it's true. So
anything else? There's one more big one, right?
Are we ready for the grand finale?
Yeah.
Right.
I'll let you do it, Zach.
All right, so the grand finale is the big one. Is that we know finally that as we suspected, Fantastic Four is coming.
Yes, yes.
We got a graphic for it, a little animated graphic for it, and it is going to be directed by, help me out,
John Watts.
John Watts of Spider-Man: Homecoming and Spider-Man: Far From Home fame.
Yes. So I think this is a good choice. I think this is a good choice personally.
Exactly. So we know Fantastic Four is going to be fun.
Yeah.
At the very least.
It's going to be fun and have heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is one, I think he's contracted for the third Spider-Man movie that's coming up. And I think his contract expires with that one.
Okay.
On the Spider-Man franchise. So I like that Marvel's we'll snatch him up now.
Right. Yeah.
We'll still use them.
Yeah. I'm thrilled to hear that.
Yeah.
So that was my question. So he is doing the third Spider-Man that I guess just started filming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, this is cool. Yep. So don't have a ton much else of information for that, but they were the ones I wanted.
Yep.
It's a ton of characters connected to Fantastic Four that we could play with now. This is our avenue for Doom. This is our avenue for Galactus, Silver Surfer.
Right.
I can't wait. Oh, sure. Marvel's cool.
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right. Okay, so we're going to cool down really quick and we're going to go around and just share which piece, which announcement from this event, has us the most excited. But first, I want to ask you listeners to please, however you're finding us, leave a review, give us a like, and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube as well. We'd really appreciate it. So, what announcement has us most excited? Frank, you want to start?
Sure, I'll start. Okay. I think for me, it's the Noah Hawley Alien.
Wow.
Just because, the majority of stuff that I knew from Marvel was going to be stuff that, don't get me wrong, there's stuff that I'm surprised by. But the Noah Hawley Alien is one that completely out of left field, had no idea it was coming. So I'm going to go with that. That's my choice.
All right.
Okay. Tommy, you want to go next?
Not quite sure. There's a couple mulling over based upon different people. It's just because they had a lot of, like what Frank was saying, there's a lot of little things that I didn't expect. Like, I wasn't looking for a Chip and Dale, but based upon the casting, I'm interested in seeing what they're going to do with that particular project. I was interested in their representation of Africa, being that they're going to combine with Nigerian stories in order to give us what I thought would never happen out of Disney, but apparently they're open to commitment and new stories brought in Horizon and casting. A lot of with the Marvel films, for me, I kind of wait till I see it because I'm a naysayer of the group, so to speak. But I enjoy it because I just like tangible things. I've been disappointed, so I don't want to be too excited until I see what they do with it. I'm trying to think. Just give me a little bit more time. Come back to me, Ron. I just need to think about it a bit.
All right.
I'll go next. Fantastic Four, obviously I'm very excited about, but one of the things I'm just from seeing stuff that they showed us today and revealed around this meeting is Ms. Marvel. Mm-hmm. Like, it's one of my favorite comics of the past decade. I like it a lot, and what they've seen just from having read the comics, it kind of looks like they showed us all stuff from what will be the first episode, but it looks like the first issue of the comics come to life. Like, it just feels like that comic book is alive now when I see those characters and some of the quick interactions we saw, and I'm super excited about that. I think they've nailed it just from what I've seen so far.
Yeah, no, this is all good picks, everybody. This is hard. This is really, really hard. So I'm going to say Marvel. Just all encompassing. I really find myself really excited for this win or lose animated thing that Pixar is doing. There's show. I don't know why. Something about that is just really hooking me. I can't wait for it. And I have one more that we didn't talk about. I forgot to talk about, but they announced that Indiana Jones 5 is filming in the spring. Yeah. I'll watch anything.
Directed by?
Oh, is it? I don't know.
James Mangold.
Is it James Mangold? Okay,
yeah.
So I'm in. Like I said, as I've said before, I'd watch a movie of Indiana Jones teaching his class. So, so I'm into that. So, Tommy, did you select yours?
Just, you know what, Tiana. I didn't. Okay. I thought it was a character that. See, I didn't think much of the movie, but I'm involved with somebody that loves it incessantly, and I've gone on many hunts for merchandising based upon that character, which I thought Disney moved past. To see them go all in with the animated series and the first animated series involving the Disney princess is surprising and applauded. And they're extending her storyline, so hopefully that gets to be bigger than what it is. It's everything else, like with Marvel getting all its accolades and engrossing. Everything's built upon everything that we mentioned or we saw is built upon a franchise that has been marketed as something great, even grander. So I'm not surprised that they're extending the life or the storylines of everything that we've seen. But I didn't think it would be Tiana. There's nothing other than who she is and what she represents that made them extend the story. So that one, I'm waiting to see how they represent that one.
Cool.
All right.
Cool. Okay, who would knew? Disney Investor Day. Turns out it's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Be sure to tell us which announcement was your favorite in the comments. Also, suggest a topic for the show while you're there. As always, you can find links and examples to everything we talk about in letmeknowhowitis.com. You can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/letmeknowhowitis and follow us on Twitter at our show's initials LMKHII. Thanks for listening. We will catch you next week.